Hello everyone, how's it going? It's me, Jaylene, also known as Vancouver. I wanted to talk about this very trending and also very important consent topic that not only has more awareness, but also has more support with the new laws surrounding it. So be sure to listen up if you don't want any police at your door. Today, we're going to be talking about stealthing, a big word with big consequences. We're going to be talking about 4 key things about this topic, but first, hit that subscribe button. Number 1 topic is going to be what is stealthing. Number 2, the laws surrounding stealthing. Number 3, my own personal experience with stealthing. And number 4, I also have 3 key tips how to protect yourself from stealthing, whether it's to be accused or how to prosecute someone if it does happen to you. Number 1. What is stealthing? Stealthing is the act of removing any barrier protection during the sexy time play without the other person's knowledge. In other words, one person makes the unconsensual decision to go from protected sex over to unprotected sex without asking the other if it's okay. And to make it so simple with the biggest example, one person removes the condom without the other person's knowledge or removes it before asking if it's okay. This is a form of sexual assault and rape, which brings me to ultimately number 2, stealthing laws. In Canada, the Supreme Court has ruled that when condom use is a condition for sexual intercourse, it becomes part of the sexual activity to which the person consented. So if you continue the sexual activity without the condom or barrier protection, and the person has not consented to that particular activity of unprotected sex, you are a rapist, to put it plainly. This ruling can also be applied for using protection for oral sex, etc. i.e. if the barrier protection was part of the agreement for you to either licking their pussy or sucking them off, then you must ask if it's okay if you want to remove the barrier protection. And what is the aftermath for the person who is the victim? Time for number 3, my own story of stealthing. Growing up, I never once heard about the word stealthing or the fact that it was a form of sexual assault. That doesn't mean though that it didn't feel all okay when it did happen to me. But back in the day, us victims never truly had a podium to actually be able to truly say how not okay it was. Now, I wanted to be vulnerable and share this story on this video because I have a feeling that there's a lot more people in this world who will share this experience with me, or at least the fear of having this experience than not, especially femmes. They told me it slipped off after the playtime, after all was done, and decided to not tell me the moment it happened. Rather, they actually continued the playtime without putting on a new condom. When they did tell me this, super nonchalantly by the way, I thought in my own younger and naive self that I actually also had to pretend that it was not a big deal. After all, it slipped off. As they said, they didn't remove it on purpose. Right? Major truth here is still to this day, I have no idea if it was on purpose or not. But in these moments right after assault, or i.e. an unconsensual experience that you were not prepared to have with this person, most victims are going to try to find ways to reason against the belief that they just experienced a form of rape. So even though I played it off like it was a small little accident, I actually had my body telling me an entirely different story. I immediately felt unsafe with this human. I remember my gut feeling just churning with sickness immediately at the thought of what just happened. I remember crying afterwards because I felt huge anxiety over A, finding resource for a plan B pill, which I'm gonna say not everywhere in the world actually has full access to. B, finding a place to test myself for STIs that I was not planning to risk myself with when having sex with this person. And C, wondering in fear how I'm going to have to talk to my partner about how I just had unprotected sex without them blaming me for breaking our own sexual health boundaries. Again, I'm going to say stealthing was not a very known term at this time. And also this is pretty common amongst a lot of sexual assault victims, but also felt fucking disgusted just in my own body itself. I felt used and sadly dirty that the fact that this person used me for their own fucking sexual pleasure without any concern for my needs or my own safety. That feeling of disgust is not an easy one to wash off. So what measures do we need to take to help protect ourselves from either A, being accused of stealthing, or B, how to protect ourselves if a stealthing does occur? Number 1, when in doubt, always fucking check. This first tip is for you penis owners. Listen up. Penis owners, I've talked to many of you far and wide. If you feel like you are not that sensitive to knowing whether the condom is on you or off you, you can easily use your eyes. No fucking excuses. You should be able to see the condom around the base of your shaft at all times, and if you do not see it there, stop the play and fucking fix it. To put it simply, you are the one wearing the raincoat, so you are more likely to know if you lose the raincoat. You are responsible for your own raincoat. And if you do not want to feel responsible for it, fine, I can't really fucking tell you what to do, but you will be at a huge risk of being accused of stealthing and sexual assault. Don't forget that. Number 2, stop the play for your safety. Partners, if you're in doubt of the condom being on, be sure to just reach down to feel the base of their shaft to see if you can feel the condom around it. And I will say, never ever ever, if you do not feel the condom around the base of that shaft, ever feel afraid of stopping the play to either adjust the condom or get a better fitting condom if it seems to keep slipping. It's for your own safety. And lastly, number 3, talk about protection before. Don't naturally assume protection will occur. If it's someone you are new to meeting and fucking, make sure to list off all the different activities that you do want to enjoy with protection. Oral sex, penetrative sex, you name it. I want to say that a verbal agreement will have some standing in court in case stealthing does occur, but to be extra safe, you can either 1. Having another person present, i.e. a third party, witnessing you speak your boundaries. This is helpful in a sex party scenario. Or number 2, you can have your boundaries in writing, such as telling the person through messaging what your protection boundaries are, and making sure that the other person has replied in agreement so you guys both know that they have read and understood them. Stealthers know stealthing. This is in case a stealthing does happen and you have taken it to court. You now have officially factual evidence that you have spoken your consent boundaries to the perpetrator. If you have been a victim of stealthing and you need someone to talk to about this, do not hesitate to reach out to me for a supporting coaching call. I am here for you, and I am truly sorry that this happened to you. My website link is below for contacting me. Also, be sure to like and subscribe to this video so we can share this stealthing awareness. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. It's me, Vancouver.